Hello, chat. Welcome to work. Or at least it's where I am. I don't know why I'm streaming this. It's just gonna take 58 minutes of letting it sit through an image, little square by little square, in that big square. And then the autofocus is like not cooperating. All for the sake of that, which is also not in focus. There it is, kinda. It's not very exciting, but it's like a poor man's rave in here. Or a poor man who has access to a bunch of microscope hardware. Chat, I have to wait 53 minutes for this to acquire. Last time I tried to acquire this, I don't know if it'll show me the image. Let's see if you can spot the problem, which is, in addition to not autofocusing, kinda. Nobody knows how to do any of this or use any of the software or do any of the fancy new stuff, so I've been also making a PowerPoint bit by bit, or a LibreOffice Impress, not officially authorized PowerPoint. It's like, hey, what do the buttons do on the software? Oh, they do this. Oh, also that. Ooh, graphics. At some point, I have to finish making this because nobody knows. We have an Office license. It's just this computer, I don't know. It's technically not supposed to be online, so it's currently not. But I have a portable version of OpenOffice on here that I only really needed for Open Excel or whatever, just so I can get some data off here, call it a day. But gotta wait for that to acquire, and I tried to do it yesterday, and it did not come out great. It's a little bit wonky. You might wonder, oh, why is it all offset and looking real bad like that? The answer is, I don't know. It's normally fine, but let's, just pull the white balance back over. Or not. You can just not respond, that's also okay. No, it's just because everything is blown out. The problem is, this is the part of the brain that I work in, and the contrast in that part's usually very bad compared to the rest of the brain. So if you want to image this, all this gets super blown out. But it's not supposed to be like staggered that way, and I don't know why it's doing that. Like, that's all supposed to be nice and straight, and it's currently not. And it was... So technically this is part of some data that I had, and I had analyzed it, and then I was writing up the tutorial for how to use it, and then I accidentally hit the save button and overwrote the actual data, so now I have to rescan it again, bit by bit, and pull the numbers from it a second time. But not if it looks like that. End up writing all these tutorials for things, and then finding that they don't actually work. What's a good brain? What's a good brain? I've probably also shown you these, but that's okay. Oh, it's not alignment crops. What is this actually? Is it reconstructed stack 2? No, it's... Is it this one? No, maybe... I gotta name these files better. Half of them are like, it's this maybe... I could have sworn it was this. Which is the one that's like 3-channel? Is it this one? GFP amplified, converted? I don't know. I guess we can load it in and see what it does. No, don't save that. It's gross. Also close that. Let's see. Is this a brain? Oh yeah, this is a brain. Ooh, oh. Kind of focus, maybe. Wow, this looks like garbage. But it is in 3D, so that's something. Real splotchy, dappy channel on this thing. Oh, and you can't see any of it because it's all in the dark. It's not a pretty brain. It looks like garbage. Can you tell what any of this is? No. What are all these like red splotches and the blue splotches? Garbage! Garbage! And you don't know that it's gonna be garbage until you look at it. Spend all the time futzing with it. Is it that? No. Could have sworn it was this one, but I guess it isn't. I don't know. Chat, I just sit in the dark room and then listen to that go. And then click cells. You're like, oh, hang on. I don't know if anybody else is around. Oh, I don't think that's actually right. It's not connected to the internet. It doesn't know what the weather is. No. All I do is this. It's like, how many red dots are there? And then you collapse the stack down. And then it focuses, maybe. Wow. And it's like, how many red dots are there? Okay, how many green dots are there? How many red dots are on top of the green dots? Where's the... Oh, there it is. That's my job. And it's like, what part of the brain's that? That's the BNST, and that's the ventral pallidum / substantia nominata, and then there's the diagonal band and the magnocellular nucleus, and all these are little cell detection hits. And that's what I do after this finishes acquiring as it clicks over and over. No, it's more than 5. It's like 500 probably. Technically that says like 983, but that's also counting like the ones up here and over there, which are not in the right part of the brain. And then you sit around for another 41 minutes. This just keeps going. Ooh, ah. That's scanning for the DAPI, and that's scanning for the RFP, and that's the GFP, and that's the DAPI, and that's the RFP, and then it just cycles over and over. And technically, every time it's cycling through that, it's going a little bit lower, because I'm just taking the stack. So you image it, and then you image the next focal plane. Could I get in trouble for streaming this? I don't think so. I mean, it's just, this is what the microscope does. As I just wait for it to acquire. And then put together the talk on how to actually use the software. Because I'm the only person that currently knows how to use it. I do like how the interface on this thing looks like it's from Windows 98. And that's reflected light, and that's transmitted light. Oh, I shouldn't touch it. It might actually do things. No, the company knows how to use it, but I'm the only person in the lab who knows how to use it. What else? What other 3D brains have I made? God, the screen capture, the image, not the image, the like movie video of your 3D tissue export in the software was broken. So I had to capture it with like screen to GIF, the same way that I capture stuff on my home computer to make like the Bob cube or whatever. So then I just have these 50 megabyte GIFs. Big GIFs. I don't know which of these is which though. You think it was this, but it's not. Manually aligned redo. All these file names just named like, oops, this one didn't work. Neither did this one. Also, this piece of tissue is like missing a whole chunk of it up here for some reason. Ooh, science, wow. I always see a face in these. Oh, not in that one. Like that one just looks like a spooky ghost. And then one of these looks like an angry man. Like those are the eyes and the big angry face. I think these colors are wrong though. This is supposed to be Dappy and the Dappy channel should be blue. And then whatever's currently blue I think is supposed to be... Wait, is that Dappy? Maybe that is Dappy. Where's the red? It just looks like an angry loaf of toast or something. Technically, ooh, that's all the way at the back. It's all the way caudal. Yeah, whatever the blue is supposed to be green. And then the green's supposed to be blue. It's a pain in the butt because the software doesn't align it right. So like sometimes you see the green on that side and then it flips over there and it's all supposed to be on the same side. Oh, I did all the like tissue prep for this. Oh, this might have been the same one I showed you. It's kind of screwed up. Like this little blob on one end is supposed to be... Oh, it's upside down. Sorry, I'm looking through the viewfinder. No, that's a 50-minute acquisition for a part of one slice. But I'm just taking... So, I'm imaging this part, which doesn't really tell you anything, but inside that red rectangle is the region of interest, and then it has to take a bunch of smaller rectangular images for the whole thing. And then each one of those white rectangles is made up of 11 different image acquisitions. So it takes a picture there 11 times at certain slightly different focal depths or the Z positions. So then that'll go like up or down, I guess. And you do that so you don't miss anything in your tissue. So you don't image it at one focal plane and it's like, I can't see this. I don't know if I'm getting all the cells. But if you image all the way through it, and then you recombine them all, then you can get a good cell count. And then this just keeps clicking the whole time. And then I did all this tissue prep at some point. Ooh, oh, you can't even see it. There's tissue in there. Got a label maker and everything, which you also cannot see. Well, whatever. Is this one A? That one's A. Once I dropped this box and everything fell, and one slide broke, and thankfully it was not one that mattered. But don't drop the box, or you lose months of your life, and then you probably get fired. Or maybe you don't, but everyone just feels bad for you and then treats you like a pariah. How's your Tuesday afternoon chat? That part never gets any more interesting. Technically, I probably should be working on the talk. And I mean, it's like half talk, half like print this out and leave it next to the system so you know what to do. Stuff to add. All caps. It's like, oh, I put the virus in this part of the brain. How do we know if that's the globus pallidus? Oh, we can overlap it with the atlas coordinates, and that's the globus pallidus. And that's where the virus went. It's got little red Pikachu cheeks. Also maybe some spillover into the internal capsule, but what are you gonna do? You're also pretending to work. Well, the problem is, like, the first acquisition always is such a pain, because you sit there and you wait. And once you start the next one, you can start analyzing the first while it captures, but until you capture the first one, there's really nothing to do. No, the virus does not make them say Pika. It lets you activate or inhibit a certain population of cells with clozapine N oxide, CNO. Let's see. There's nothing else really to look at. It is a dark room. At times, never right. I'm kind of worried that I'm going to capture this and it's going to come out kind of offset and screwed up like the other one. But I guess we'll see. I had just recalibrated it, so I thought that might have fixed the problem, but maybe not. And got all the controls for everything on the other monitor. There's a keyboard. There's notes to myself. A whole bunch of Post-its strung out everywhere. It's like, what do you think about numbers? I've got numbers. And then another stack of Post-its with numbers. There's a lab notebook in there somewhere with my name on it. Somewhere in that pile of whatever. It's a rodent brain atlas. That's where all the parts of the brain are. Ooh, ah, science. I guess. Ooh, ah, anatomy. What else? I don't know if the grad school lab streams were any more interesting than this. Oh yeah, brain anatomy's a pain in the butt. All anatomy's a pain in the butt. I just want to like point to a part of the body and be like, this one instead of having to memorize the name for it and all that good stuff. Also, I don't know how to sit in chairs correctly. Like every time I do it, I'm just sitting like this. Just, you can't really see it. Just like leg up on the chair all the time. The seat part of the chair is both for my butt and for my feet. They should make chairs specifically for people who can't really sit in chairs correctly. And these are the little carve-outs for where the feet go. And this is where the butt goes. Oh, what else? I could have sworn, though, I should have another thing. I might only just have GIFs of the things. Like, ooh, ah. But you can't manipulate that in 3D space because it's already a GIF. Is that a comfortable chair? Not really. That's kind of neat, except for this one busted ass slice in the background. Ooh, brains. This demo footage? Oh, yeah. I guess that one actually did save. Looks like an intro to a sci-fi movie in a dystopian world. No, there's not a fishhook. That's, I think, part of the cortex that detached. I don't know. I mean, if anyone needs like an extra futuristic, glowy looking prop for their new sci-fi film, let me know. And what I wanted to do at some point was to do that 3D reconstruction, but just with like sections of little citrus. Like have a little marble-sized lemon and then slice that up and then make it a 3D fluorescent lemon, but I don't know how you're supposed to just image it at all. Like, I'm assuming you can't easily tag plant cells the same way you can mammalian cells. Probably have to do something to break all the cell walls to get it to accept any of the antibodies, and I guess I could just do it all in bright field, but maybe if I have a really tiny fruit again that's like marble sized, I can just put it on the regular scope and then just do bright field imaging at like 5x and then make it all in 3D. I could use those basic dyes, that's true. I don't know what gets taken up by plant tissue though. Maybe nothing. This phone gets hot also. It's 26 minutes. What else? No, nothing I do is all that exciting. Or maybe some of it is, but not at the moment. Just take images of things. These big cholinergic cells. No. Also no. Yes. Aw, yeah. Cells. Big old green ones. You just let that process. See, I take images as a whole stack, so it's like from here to here I capture, and then I collapse them into one image, so you get really good contrast. And then you get little cells, like that. But normally they're in focus. I swear though, the way that these fluorophores end up blending in the image kind of just reminds me of like those free lollipops that you get from a diner or something that are all like green and yellow and red in weird proportions and all kind of blurred together. No, not dum-dums, they're like large and flat. See, the difference here is like, oh, I don't know, these aren't in focus, I can't see them, but then you can, oh, where's the, there it is. You can go through the different focal planes and get them more in focus and some more than others, and then you can just combine them all. And if you don't combine them all, you can also just do this. There you go. And go sort of see that it has depth, even though this is really never very useful. But flipping anything around in 3D is always kind of novel, I feel. Everyone's always happy to see some glowy thing spin around. It just has to make like Half-Life 1 physics collision sounds this whole time. That works about as well as XSplit does as well. Which is to say, not very much. What else? Probably nothing else. Just sit here and watch that. In the scope room that nobody else goes in. Honestly, like, I'm just gonna end up writing up this protocol for how to use this microscope and no one's gonna bother. Ooh, it's got a joystick. Move the stage around with that. Pretend that you're a gamer of like the 80s. There's nothing else really. There's my lab coat and my regular coat. Little air purifier and the clock that's always wrong. In the ceiling. And also my knees. My prisoner, the distress word is gamer. No, I'll never say that word. Oh yeah, well, at one point I tweeted that picture of my face only lit up by the scope laser and thought it was sort of interesting. And then I think immediately after I got broken up with, not related to that image, but felt bad, and then I just deleted it anyway. But I should. I don't know, it's probably weird to repost it again. Like, I deleted this 3 months ago, but I kind of still like this picture, so here you go. Take these artsy bio selfies. Oh, God. See, it's got a camera over there for bright field, and then that's the fluorescent camera. That's a Hamamatsu Orca something or other, and I don't know what the bright field camera is. No one uses it. And then if you do this imaging as it clicks through all the different filter cubes for like an entire day, the whole thing just starts squeaking really loudly and you feel kind of bad for it. What do you not think is weird? Is this done yet? No. It's weird how when it's moving the stage and taking pictures of different things, it doesn't really update on the screen. It'd be nice to kind of see it take the pictures as it goes. But I guess there's like a software limitation or a bandwidth processing thing. Oh, I already posted it. Then I deleted it. I mean, it only shows you like where it is in the scanning thing. And see, it's got like 12 more tiles, and the problem is it's got like this, and then it's gonna have to put a tile layer all the way to the bottom because there's a tiny, tiny bit that is like between this and the red, and it's like, well, I gotta capture that. So it's gotta have to go all the way down, and then it's gonna have to come all the way back, and there's nothing even really down here. But you can't change it now. Yeah, now you just wait. I suppose. And the spaghetti of wires coming out of that computer. Still using Firewire on that one camera at least, which I think is kind of funny. I'm sure it's been supplanted by modern USB standards, but anytime I see a Firewire port in something that's novel. Well, it had like higher bandwidth or something. So you used to see it in a lot of labs that did imaging and needed faster transfer times. Now you don't really see it so much on newer things, but if you've got like a 10-year-old imaging setup, you probably have it. Or also, worst case, you can just plug in your iPod and charge it even faster. Yeah, it's going down the focal depths bit by bit. Wow. Science. I don't know. I don't have anything else to talk about. You can see through the eyepiece, but not right now. There's a manual shutter you pull out that determines if the light goes to the eyepiece or goes to the camera, and it's currently all going to the camera. You could have it be half and half, but then it's really dim for both the camera and the eyepiece, and if you're acquiring an image, it'll throw the exposure and everything all off. But if it's done, I could try to point it down the eyepiece. Every time I try to use a stereoscope, it's always a hassle because I just feel like I'm never looking into it the right way. Holy shit, science. It's not hugely exciting science, just imaging this. And then I guess I'm gonna work on the talk for how to actually use any of this stuff. And how to automate the analysis, and then how to like plot which of these cells are at which part of the tissue, and this isn't currently showing it for reasons unknown, probably because I hit this button. Yeah, there it is. I like how this has a way to change the thickness of the lines, but you click it and it's like, do you want 1 pixel lines or do you want real chunky lines? Also, I don't know why these are... What are these markers anyway? This is so large. No, not 20 pixels, 10 pixels. No, that says 19. There it is. Ooh, numbers. Hang on. So you got this new thing that lets you plot different brain regions onto the tissue, and you know what they are. And then you can like say, oh, there are this many points in this part of the brain and this many in this part. And then it does all the quantification for you in your lateral preoptic area. But nobody else knows how to use any of that yet, so that's what I was putting the talk together for. Be like, this is how you do things. Ooh, science. That's how you make the little face. Do you put the brain back in? Very carefully. Another 13 exciting minutes. What else do we have? We have lens cleaner. More lens cleaner. Kim wipes. That's how you know it's a lab. Why does it take forever? Because it has to image. It's got to go through 46 tiles to capture that whole red thing. And then every tile it goes to, it captures it 11 times. Then every time it captures it, it has to run through the 3 fluorophores we're capturing at the moment. And the DAPI one only takes like 17 seconds of exposure, but the other ones are like 300 milliseconds. So it takes a couple of seconds to capture one plane, and then it captures 10 more planes, and then it captured one tile, and then it does all of that another 60 times, which is why it takes forever. And then you get to do it, and then you look at your image and find out, oh, this is bad. I can't use this. Came out all herky-jerky, like that one that I was showing you earlier. Anyway, this will be a paper at some point. I think it's this one. Yeah, here's the herky-jerky version. Oh, wait, let's close all this actually. Where it's just not lined up somewhere, it kind of just lost tracking. I don't exactly know what the issue was with this, but you can tell it's... I mean, it also just looks like it's on fire, which it should not be looking like. Although that's mostly just because that part's super blown out. Because we're mostly looking here. I don't know why I did that yesterday. Hopefully it doesn't do it today, because this looks really bad. But we'll see. It's kind of a pain, because you have to do all the capturing, and then you see what it looks like. And maybe it looks like what you want it to look like, and maybe it doesn't. And see, now it's at the very end of that, and it's gonna have to go all the way across again, capturing the very bottom of that. Whereas it could have been done now if I just changed the contour ahead of time, but I didn't. So we'll sit here for another 11 minutes. God, dude, I know, I had to fix the software. We got it after an update, and then it just broke. And I had to like make all these backup copies of all the user profiles and go through and like click one thing, and it's like, okay, does this make it crash? No. We'll save that as a known good one, and then I click the next thing, and would go through the order of things that I would normally do that would crash it, and eventually fixed it. And then I wrote out a bug report, and it's like, on this line of this INI file, if this flag is not set this way, then it crashes. You're welcome. I felt like a hero, but apparently they had already known about that issue. See, now it's gotta like image all that, And you see that most of that is not inside the red square. And it's got to go all the way across a second time. And there's no way you could say, like, no, that's good. Stop capturing here, call it a day. It's got to do the whole thing. Or else. And maybe I can point the camera around the rest of the lab at some point. Or not. How's your Tuesday, chat? You enjoying just watching this go? Not really. It's novel the first couple times you do it. Like, wow, it's a cheap disco in here, but kinda just wish it would be done. This has been the most exciting part of your Tuesday. Not mine. I mean, I got out of bed today. That's progress. Oh, that's the Dappy. It's picking up the nuclear stain. What else? There's really nothing else in this room that's very interesting. The most interesting thing in this room is that little screen. And also me, I guess. I'm the second most interesting thing in this room. Should have had a playthrough of Final Fantasy VII running up on the screen or something. Set up a candle on top of the computer tower. Bring my stream deck. Yeah. Just hit the button for farts. No, I never actually set any of those buttons to fart or anything. What if it suddenly shines red and becomes sentient and angry? Hey, that'd be way more interesting. As something to do on a Tuesday afternoon. Still going. Science. I don't really have anything else to talk about. Could have brought my laptop in and then just played podcasts or something. I want to say, like, researcher is probably one of the higher podcast consuming jobs you could have. I mean, I don't know what normal jobs are like. I don't know if they expect you not to have headphones on all the time, but in science, everyone kind of just does. I did eat today. Had a little sausage sandwich from Starbucks. You're at the gym in your office right now watching me. Does it inspire you to run faster, Kevin? Well, I should probably set up an in vivo recording for tomorrow. I had to go and change the cage. Now I just have to go into the software and be like, start recording at 7 a.m. And then I give the vehicle at 9. The vehicle's just sailing. What's the fastest path to become researcher? You probably get a bachelor's in biological science, and then find a research assistant position. Be best friends with the researcher and get a job in their lab. I don't know. There's the apotome, which helps eliminate that thing that's not plugged in. Helps eliminate out-of-phase light, I believe, but nobody ever uses it. It's supposed to slot into the microscope with these fancy lenses, and probably not like exposed to dust like that, but who knows how long it's been there. Yeah, it's not for anything that we need at like 10, 20x. It's maybe better for the 63x oil immersion. I'm too obsessed with being sad to have friends. Hell yeah. That's my problem. I want to mope around in the street and have someone be like, oh, you look so sad. Do you want me to be your friend? And I'll say, oh, thanks. Yes, actually. But I'm pretty sure that's not how that works. It might, I don't know. I don't know how to exist in society. I just know to put on a coat and then take weird pictures of my face while waiting for the train and put them on Twitter and pretend that that's interesting. Pretend that tweeting these angled emo selfies are going to make you like me more for some reason. Yeah, you could just make this a hold-on screen. Not a very interesting one. I need science music. Etc. Pretend the next big YouTuber. Or become the next big YouTuber. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, the barrier to entry to being like a YouTuber, VTuber, whatever, who also has a PhD and access to $1 bazillion in scientific equipment has got to be pretty high. Like, anybody can just download an anime girl rigging, but they can't also have a PhD at the same time. I mean, unless they do also have one, but you can't download that. You need like a VTuber that's just a PhD, just a doctorate, and they put little woo-woo anime eyes on it. Yeah, get a PhD in anime girl rigging. Well, if they made one like that, it would have to also have really, really tired eyes. It's like when you look at people who are president before and after, and it's like, oh God, you're old now. They need to make one of those like after you get your PhD. Oh, it's almost done. Let's see if it came out right. It's got to take 6 more stacks. Here's a little pro tip to prevent photo bleaching of your slices. When this finishes acquiring, it has to do some image processing and compression and everything. And while it does that, it leaves the laser on, even though it's not imaging anything. So you want to turn that off. See, it's done. Now it's saving it. But it's still cooking the slide. So you gotta go over here, and for RL illumination, you say no. And then it's off. I probably can set it to close the shutter. I'd have to look. I thought I did do that. If you look through the device controls, so it's gotta do this first. It does close them. Like, it'll close the shutter eventually. Just not right now. Hear people go in and out of the other room. Hopefully they don't think I'm just talking to myself. Though, to be fair, I also do that. Had one of my bosses come in commenting on just like me sitting in the scope room and then just singing a bunch. It's like, wow, I love dad rock. Singing all my favorite Beach Boys hits. Who doesn't talk to themselves? I used to talk to myself a lot more. Just like working through something or just alone in an apartment. I don't know if that's a symptom of anything. Wow, is Tim singing Love You in there? Is that Johnny Carson? I want to pick you up in the scope room. Oh, come on. Chat, what do you think? Place your bets. Is this image gonna work? Or is it gonna look like a total jank fest? And then I won't be able to use it. Oh, let's find out. Let's find out. It says it's saving. I don't know why it didn't save. Breaking news. Morocco defeats Spain at the World Cup. That's good. No, it isn't. I don't know. Is Vatican City in the World Cup? Can we just have a team of, like, ex-popes and bishops, cardinals? Oh, come on. What are you doing? You have to save all these individual things. And then composite them all into one thing. What is that, 63% complete? No, there's enough disk space. This is probably 400 megs. Although the hard drive is only like... Oh, wait, that's not the one that I captured. That's the old one. What did I capture? Please don't be janky. No, don't show me this part. Show me the image. The image should be over here. Where's my image? Oh, no. Sometimes it does. Oh, there it is. Oh, wow, you can just watch the fire animate. You scroll through the different planes. And the flames rage on. No, my data. No, it came out okay. Just gotta adjust how this is displayed. Yeah, see all the histology landmarks line up. We just gotta adjust. Can you do deep focus if you haven't adjusted beforehand? Maybe not. Let's see, and then the DAPI channel just looks like the DAPI channel. It's like nighttime. Let's see, bring the black point there and the white point over, and then bring down the gamma. Do that, do that. It's probably also looking kind of bad because we have to have it do the focus map on the images. Let's see. Oh, gross. There should be green cells in here. Oh yeah, there kind of are. That's a couple. Look at that. It's kind of hard to pick them out. And you can like see the points. I guess that'll have to do. Well, the image worked. It's maybe not super clear, but I mean, I can count all those little green circles eventually. This looks not in focus. Oh, no, it's kind of in focus. I take it back. No, I'm looking at it, at the image directly and also through the phone. The contrast is better not on the phone. For sure. It's very blown up on my phone here. Let's see. I'm gonna probably, let's see, get rid of these, get rid of these. It's gonna be like, do you want to get rid of these images? And you say yes. And you turn this one on. Go back into, oh no, we don't need this tracing. And you say zoom to fit, and it doesn't actually know what that means. Yeah, good enough. Save that as the one that I had to redo. Ta-da. 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 Science. Now I don't really have, I don't know. I mean, I can keep streaming it, but I also kind of have to do work now that this is done. Yeah, they turned out okay. I mean, the issue that I had before was where they weren't lined up correctly. But you can see here that this is straight and aligned the whole way through. It didn't come out all wonky like that other one did. So this is fine. No, that's, I don't actually know what it's called. I'm very bad at neuroanatomy. I mean, my brain's currently on fire, but that's for other reasons. It didn't come out looking like this. Like that looks like this instead of the weird offset one that I had before. So that's good. Yeah, now I gotta like take a billion screen caps and show people how you then do the semi-auto analysis on all this. This should be greater than or equal to 10%, but whatever. I don't know. I mean, the problem is I just sort of want to talk because I'm bored and mopey, but similarly, I'm probably not going to get a whole lot of work done that way. I don't know, I probably need to just download some other chat program or something. Just talk with whatever random people throughout the day. Yeah, this isn't even too bad. I kept having this issue before. Maybe you can see it on other slices. I think I fixed it from recalibrating, but you look at some of these and you can see that in each of the little tiles, it starts lighter on one end and then it gets darker. Maybe it's not super obvious, but see, it's like light to dark, lighter to dark. And that doesn't seem like that's doing that. God, dude, look at all the little dots. All those individual little cells. What a hassle. And some of them are put down automatically. I think the automatic ones are in white. And then a number of the yellow ones are manual. It's like, oh, it picks up some of these, and then some of these it definitely does not pick up. You have to sit here and count this and see how many little dots there are, and then you put it in a spreadsheet. Put glitter in the brain. I wish. I guess we can do that. Like on our little viral aliquot. You can also then just put glitter in it. Shoot a little bit of that in. Well, I don't need to have the light off anymore. Ooh, ah, science. Ooh, ah, cells. Ooh, ah, don't put your face in there, I guess. Ooh, ah, light box. Turn that off. Oh, go down farther. How expensive is this setup? Not that much. I think the scope's only like $80,000. Hang on, I gotta put this down so I don't break this. The $500,000 microscope is in the other room. Yeah, and then you gotta turn all the bits off, even the bits that don't do anything. Oh, but, oh, should I leave them on? No, I guess as long as the light box is off, you can leave the rest. So the problem is if you have the acquisition software open and you turn off the microscope, it's like, oh, the hardware went away and I can't do anything now. And then it yells at you. I don't even know what all these notes are. It's like bugs I have to report to the company, note to myself to save because stuff breaks. Whatever any of these notes to myself are. That like used to mean something. Just stacks of crazy person post-its. And then all the cell prep I did. Ooh, ah, brains. What do the numbers mean? It's for when the auto counting thing per region doesn't work correctly, and you have to get a number of cells in total, and then you delete them in a certain region, then you get that number, and then you're like, oh, I can subtract this from this, and there were this many in that region, and then that many in that region, and it's just me keeping track of numbers that I guess I could probably do on an Excel spreadsheet or something, but I don't. I just do it on paper. So somebody can look at it and be like, wow, crazy person works in this lab. And they do. And it's me. Anyway, I guess I should actually get back to doing stuff. So thank you for hanging out while that image acquires. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Bye.